Hi everybody. In today's video, I'm going to be making two delicious salsas. One is my pozole salsa that has been highly requested. And the second one is a salsa that I always keep in the refrigerator because we can't have breakfast without it. And I actually keep it in the refrigerator 365 days out of the year, and it's delicious. I thought you might want to see it. So I'm going to be posting all my ingredients right here on the screen. And I'm also going to post it below in the description box so you'll know exactly what I used and how much. Let's get started. I've got a deep saucepan, and in here I'm going to go ahead and put in my Roma tomatoes. And I've got 4 Roma tomatoes that I'm going to put in here. And since the serrano peppers are not very hot, I'm going to go ahead and I've got 4 serrano peppers and I've got 1 jalapeno. The jalapeno is a little bit hotter than the serrano, so I'm going to go ahead and let them come up to a boil until the skin on the tomato starts coming off. So it's been about 6 minutes and my tomatoes and my serrano peppers and jalapeno are ready. So I'm going to go ahead and get them out. So I'm going to remove the stem right here off the peppers. Now usually I use about 5 serrano peppers. And these serrano peppers do have some heat, but they're just not as hot as the ones I usually use. So that's why I decided to throw in the 1 jalapeno. I'm going to go ahead and put them into my blender. Now I'm going to go ahead and remove the core off the tomatoes because I don't want that to go in there. And I'll just slide the skin off like that. Put them into my blender. Now I'm going to add a piece of onion. And I'm going to put in 2 garlic cloves, some salt. I'll put the amounts below in the description box. And I'm going to add a little bit of water. You don't want to add too much water because you don't want it really watered down. And I'm going to go ahead and blend it. So now that my salsa is nice and blended, I'm going to clean up the area and then I'm taking it to the stove. So I've got my heat set on medium. I'm going to go ahead and put in some oil in here. I'm going to go ahead and put my salsa in there. And I'm going to stir it around, just like this. And I want it to cook really, really well. And by cooking it, we'll be able to keep it in the refrigerator longer than if we didn't cook it. So I'm going to let it come up to just a very light boil. And then I'll bring it down to a low medium for about 15 minutes. Now, as you can see, it already came up to a low boil. I'm going to go ahead and keep it there like that, at a low setting. And this would be a good time for you to adjust your salt and be sure to stir it around often. So I'm going to let it cook for the remainder of the time. So my salsa is ready. Now I've got this mason jar here because this is where I usually keep it. So I'm going to go ahead and pour it in here and it'll get cool in there. I want to get it all. So then, once I poured it in here, it's real hot as you can see, but I just let it cool. And then when it's totally cool, I go ahead and put the lid and I put it into the refrigerator. And then it's always ready to go. In the mornings when I fix breakfast, we always bring it out, and for sure we're going to use it unless I make something like pancakes or something else. And another thing that I've done is I always use a plastic spoon. I don't know why, but my mom always said never to put a metal spoon in here. I've yet to Google it and find out where she got that. But I'm going to go ahead and set it aside, let it cool totally, before I replace the lid, and then from here it'll be going to the refrigerator. So I'm gonna go ahead and clean up my area and get started on my fantastic pozole salsa. So I'm getting ready to start on my salsa that I usually make when I make pozole. Now these are the ingredients that I'm gonna be using. I've got 3 Roma tomatoes, half of a small onion, 15 chile de árbol. You can use more or you can use less, just depending how hot you want it to be. 1/4 of a teaspoon of oregano, 1/4 of a teaspoon of ground cumin, 3 garlic cloves. I'm going to put in a little bit of pepper. This is freshly ground pepper, only because I don't want to grind just 1 or 2 peppercorns to put in here. And I'm going to be using salt. So let's get started. So I've got my skillet set on medium low. I'm going to put in just a little bit of vegetable oil, and I'm going to put in my chile de árbol. Now you want to be real careful with these because you don't want them to burn, okay? I'm just going to toss them around until they get a little bit of color. You don't want to burn these because then your salsa will get really bitter. I just want them to get just a little bit of color, and then I'll take them out really quick. Usually I just toss them around like this, and I just don't leave them alone. And that's good. Now I'm going to take them out. Just like that. As you can see, they've got a real pretty color. See? So now in the same pan where I had my chilies, I'm going to go ahead and put my onions. And I'm just going to give them a quick chop like this. Okay? Just like that. I'm going to throw them in here. I'm just going to saute my onions like this until they get a little translucent. Now while that's happening, I'm going to go ahead and chop my tomatoes. Just quickly like that. It doesn't matter how you do it because they're all going to go in the blender anyway. Just like that. This salsa for pozole is so delicious. You can actually have it with just about anything that you want, but I always make it when I make pozole. The salsa is gonna get a delicious taste because of these onions. Look at that. You see how they're getting nice and toasty? And that's what I want them to do. Now as you can see, my onions are real nice and toasty. See? And they have released a fantastic flavor, I'm sure. So now at this time, I'm going to go ahead and put in my garlic. I'm just going to give it a quick mash like this. See? I've mashed up my garlic. I'm going to go ahead and put it in here. And I'm going to continue to move it around. Just for about a minute. You don't want your garlic to burn because then you'll have a terrible taste in your salsa. So I just do it continuously like this, non-stop. So my garlic has been in here for about 1 minute. Now I'm going to go ahead and put in my tomatoes. I'm just going to toss my tomatoes around like this before I go to the next step. So my tomatoes, just like I wanted them to be. Now I'm going to add my oregano. Just like that. And my cumin. This is about one of the few times when I use powdered cumin. I'm going to add some salt. You can put in as much as you want. And a little bit of pepper. So I'm just going to stir them around like this until all the flavors come in together real nice. Now remember that all this is going to go into the blender. But I like to do it like this on the skillet first so that it'll really release its flavor. Otherwise, if you just go directly into the blender, there's no taste. And that's good, just like that. Now I'm going to add some water. Good right there. I'm going to let it come up to a light boil. And I'm going to let it simmer for about 10 minutes. So I'm going to turn off my heat in about 7 minutes. And I'm going to go ahead and put this into my blender. Very carefully. That's good. Now I'm going to get my chile de árbol and I'm going to put them in there. Just like that, with all that little bit of oil that was in there too, like that. That's good. And I'm going to whip it up. And I think that's good. Let me see. Oh, that looks perfect. Ooh, that looks delicious. So now I'm going to go ahead and pour it into my bowl. Ooh, look at how pretty this is. So this is my salsa for pozole. Look at that. This would be a good time for you to adjust your salt in it, but it's ready to go. So let's have a little taste test. Oh man, this salsa is delicious. Now here's my salsa that I made that I told you was gonna go in the refrigerator. It's still really warm. I'm gonna go ahead and taste this too. But remember, always use a plastic spoon or a little wooden spoon. Don't use a metal spoon. I'm gonna Google it and find out, and then I'll let you know why everybody says not to do that, because I don't know. This is delicious too. Very hot. But this salsa right here is also good on anything. But I usually keep it in the refrigerator so it's nice and cold. But when you make like huevos rancheros or tacos, chorizo and potato, or refried beans, or anything, omelets, anything, this is what we use. You know, you can put some in a little bowl and warm it up in the microwave oven, and then you could use it, or you can just use it cold the way we do. This one is delicious too. You can use it on flautas, you can use it on quesadillas, tacos of any kind. So these are my two salsas right here. If you like my video, give me a thumbs up. Send me a comment and tell me what you think. Share with your friends. And thank you very much.